All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and great glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Abadash, the Moanas, to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and salutations to the elect, pushing his truth to the four corners of the earth in truth and in sincerity. All right, in this particular video, I want to touch on being that spiritual harp to the brothers. All right, now what do I mean about being a spiritual harp to the brothers? Well, we have to be like King David was to Saul. When Saul had an evil spirit come upon him, he would have David play the harp and it'd get that evil spirit up off of him. Now, I'm not saying go on Amazon and order you a harp. Amazon Prime, try to get it 1 day, 2 days, spend all this money, and then learn how to play the harp so you can go in around and play it for brothers. No, be the spiritual harp spiritually. Be the harp spiritually, Salaki. Because there may be instances where you see a brother fighting with that spirit that Saul had with him. You may see him eyeing a brother, treating a brother wrong, being all nitpicky with him, doing certain things, and you know that, it's off. Be a spiritual harp to that brother. Try to get that demon off of him. All right? Go to that brother. Bring the scriptures. Go low. Go meek. Go crouching. Assault. Answer turneth away wrath. Have soft answers for this brother, man. Try to get that demon up off of him. Be that spiritual harp. Now, we all know it's a balance to this. So if that brother's not trying to hear anything that you're saying, and he's just being a straight up demon, well, you know how to handle that. Matthew's 18. But we want to make an effort to try to get that demon up off that brother as best as we can, man. All right? Because you want a brother to do that with you. So with that, let's get our first scripture. Let's get the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, 17 to 18, and we read. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yahweh. So right, we're supposed to love our brothers, man, how we love ourselves. So just like you would want somebody to help you conquer a demon, hey, extend that same thing to a brother, right? And I want to bring up this scripture to just, give an example of the love that we're supposed to have towards our brothers, man. This is 1 Samuel 18 and 1 that we read. And it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Johnathan was knit with the soul of David. See that? And Johnathan loved him as his own soul. Going back to what? Leviticus 19:17. It says, into 18, it says what? Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I'm going to say it again. But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Once again, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Going back to 1 Samuel 18 and 1. And it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Johnathan was knit with the soul of David, and Johnathan loved him as his own soul. You see that? 1 + 1 = 2 right there. That's how you love your brother. You love him as your own soul. How Johnathan loved David, giving David the shirt off his back. Literally. Let's get it. Let's go down to the 3rd and 4th verse, and we read, Then Johnathan and David made a covenant, because he loved him as his own soul. See that? And Johnathan stripped himself of the robe that was upon him and gave it to David, and his garments, even to his sword, and to his bow, and to his girdle. See, he gave him the clothes off his back, also gave him the weapons up off of him. That's how much he loved King David. That's the love that we are supposed to have for our brothers. Not looking at a brother how King Saul was looking at King David. Now, how was he looking at King David? Well, let's get into it. This is 1 Samuel 18 and 6, and we read, And it came to pass, as they came, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistines, that the women came out of all cities of Israel, singing and dancing, to meet King Saul with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music. And the women answered one another as they played, and said, Saul hath slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s. And Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him. And he said, They have ascribed unto David 10,000s, and unto me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom? You see that? That's that jealousy starting to set in. And Saul eyed David from that day forward. What does it mean to eye someone? To eye someone is to have evil intentions toward them. You distorted the way you look at this person. You twisted the way you look at this person. And now you have wrongdoing in your mind against that person. Imagine you're in a club, which you ain't supposed to be at, no way. If you're in a club and there's a pack of dudes over there in the cut, eyeballing you, eyeing you. Now you see? That's what King Saul was doing to David. If just like those pack of people eyeballing you in the club, you know what intentions they had, right? That's why you got up out of there. That's how King Saul was eyeing King David. Let's continue. Next verse, and we read, And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from the Most High came upon Saul, and he prophesied in the midst of the house, and David played with his hand, as at other times, and there was a javelin in Saul's hand. And Saul cast the javelin, for he said, I will smite David, even to the wall with it. And David avoided out of his presence twice. Now you see what type of spirit that comes with you eyeing your brother, having an evil eye towards him, and not loving him as you love yourself, not having that love like Johnathan had with King David. You see? That comes with the spirit of murder, the total opposite of how we're supposed to feel with our brothers. So if you find yourself having a similar spirit that King Saul had towards David, toward a brother, well, you need to check yourself. You need to pray on that. You need to ask Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to first forgive you and help you get that demon up off of you, all right? Because we all know how that story is going to end, huh? So with that, I'm going to end this off with one more scripture, and we're going to close it up. This is 1 John 5:3, and we read, For this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Let's get the word for love. In the Hebrew, it's ahab, but right here you got agape, right? And it means affection, goodwill, love, benevolence, brotherly love. You see that? Brotherly love, 3 times for understanding. I hope this was edifying, and with that, I'm going to say shalom.